Hey, it's David. Welcome back to Cross Fitness, helping men and women get in the best spiritual shape of their lives, one workout at a time. So, a quick thought about God in this video that I'm calling Wisdom from a 103-year-old. Today is kind of a special day for me. It's the anniversary of my grandmother's death. She died at the age of 103. She lived in Southern Illinois, and we had the habit of every Saturday for years. I would call her and we'd talk. I'd be out on a run or something, and we'd just talk and visit. And our grandmothers are just special, aren't they? Grandmothers especially. Here's a person that has loved us from the day we were conceived. When our parents told her I was coming along, she rejoiced. And my entire life, she loved me. I end these videos with, I'm always for you and never against you, and she was kind of that way for me my entire life. And it's wonderful to have a grandmother. She had wisdom, You can't live to be over a century without having that kind of wisdom, and I'd ask her questions and she'd just give that sage advice that, over 10 decades of life would produce. And she was a reader, and she just was a hearty soul and a tender soul. And if you ask a gray-headed person, some of the challenges that you're facing, some of the difficulties and conundrums that you and I face, find you someone with gray hair, and they're liable to give you some life experience that would be helpful to you. And yet, as helpful as my grandmother's advice was, having lived over a century, the book of Proverbs, which has been around for thousands of years, is a great source of wisdom. And I want to point you to that. Every day of my life, I start off with reading a chapter out of the book of Proverbs. It's just how I roll, what I do. I want to be a wiser guy, and to be a wise guy or a wise gal, we need to go to the source of wisdom, which is the book of Proverbs. God invested in Solomon, unprecedented wisdom. Never before or since has there been a man who God gave that level of wisdom, and he wrote, so many Proverbs, and we can enjoy that undiluted, unpolluted, pure God's wisdom for the ages. Although it's thousands of years old, it is as relevant as today's newspaper or news cycle. So my encouragement to you is to, consider reading a proverb for the day. Today is the 6th, so I read Proverbs chapter 6. Yesterday, Proverbs chapter 5. Tomorrow, Proverbs chapter 7. There's about 30 days or so in most months. There's 31 Proverbs, and if you make that your habit, man, you'll cover the wisdom literature 12 times a year, minimally. That's just fantastic, and you can't hardly help but be wiser if you just continue to feed from that tree of life, which is the book of Proverbs. So that's my encouragement for you today. Tap into the wisdom of the ages and the aged. I hope that encourages you a little bit. So have a great day. For now, I'm David, your virtual mentor, reminding you that I'm always for you, never against you. Have a great day.